They really thought I'd hand over my duplex to my brother's family and let them live there rent-free while I paid all the bills. Monica's voice cracked as she replayed the moment in her mind. It wasn't even a discussion. It was a decision made for her. Her parents sitting proudly at the dinner table, announcing that her brother and his wife would be moving in next month, as if Monica was invisible. If this shocks you already, don't forget to hit subscribe and share, because what Monica did next will leave you speechless. Her brother leaned back in his chair with that smug grin he always wore when things went his way. It's only fair, Monica. I've got a wife and kids. You don't need that big place all to yourself. His wife giggled, whispering something under her breath about how desperate women cling to empty apartments. Her parents didn't stop them. In fact, her father nodded. Yes, Monica. It's the right thing to do. Family comes first. Your brother has responsibilities. You should be happy to help. But Monica sat frozen. Not because she was shocked at their words. She was used to them, treating her like the spare part of the family. But because none of them had the slightest clue what she had been building in silence all these years. They still saw her as the weak daughter who never fought back. Her mother's voice cut through the tension. So it's settled. They'll move in next week. You'll manage the paperwork. No need to argue. For the first time in years, Monica's lips curved into a slow smile. It wasn't out of agreement. It was the kind of smile that made her brother's laughter falter. Because he didn't realize yet, Monica was about to draw a line that none of them could ever erase. The whole table went silent when Monica's father leaned back in his chair and said, "Why are you making this so dramatic? It's just a house. Your brother's family needs it more than you do." Monica's jaw tightened. "No, Dad, it's my duplex. I bought it with my own savings. I worked 2 jobs for years while everyone here laughed at me for not having a social life. And now suddenly I'm supposed to hand it over for free?" Her brother David scoffed, swirling his wine glass. "You're acting selfish, Monica. You're single, no kids, no big responsibilities. Meanwhile, I have a wife and 2 children. You really think keeping a second house empty is fair when your family needs it?" The words selfish and family needs it hung heavy in the air. Her mother cut in sharply. "You should be grateful you even have something to offer. After all, didn't we always feed you when you couldn't afford groceries? Families support each other. This is your chance to give back." Monica's chest burned. She remembered those days, but she also remembered the sneers, the dismissive jokes about her being a failure. Nobody had truly supported her. They just tolerated her. Yet here they were, demanding her biggest accomplishment like it was nothing. Before Monica could reply, David smirked, pulling out his phone. "Actually, we already moved some of our things into the duplex this morning. I figured you'd come around eventually, so why wait?" Her fork slipped from her hand and clattered against the plate. The room seemed to shrink around her. They had already crossed the line without asking. Monica's voice shook but stayed sharp. "You moved in without my permission?" David shrugged, calm and arrogant. "Come on, Monica. Don't act like you're some big landlord. Everyone knows you just got lucky. We'll take care of the place better than you ever could." Her parents exchanged approving nods, like this had all been settled. But Monica leaned forward, her eyes blazing. "You all think I'm weak. You think I'll just stay quiet like always. But not this time. You've made one mistake too many." Her brother chuckled dismissively, not realizing that the room was shifting, tension crackling like electricity. Monica wasn't bluffing anymore. She had something none of them knew about, something that could flip the entire table on them. And in that moment, as her family laughed off her warning, Monica decided she wasn't just going to say no. She was going to make them regret underestimating her. David's laughter echoed across the room, but Monica's silence cut sharper than any reply. She stood slowly, every eye following her as she reached for her purse. For a second, her father thought she was storming out. But instead, Monica pulled out a thick envelope and slid it across the table. "Go ahead," she said coldly. "Open it." Her mother frowned, curiosity mixing with irritation. She ripped the envelope open and froze. Inside were property documents, stamped and signed, showing not 1 but 5 rental properties under Monica's name. The duplex was just the smallest piece of her portfolio. David's wife gasped, clutching his arm. "Wait, this can't be real." "Oh, it's very real," Monica replied, her voice calm but cutting through the tension like a knife. While you all were mocking me, I was working double shifts, investing every penny I had, and building something you couldn't even imagine. You thought I was wasting my life. You thought I was pathetic. Meanwhile, I became the landlord you're now trying to manipulate." Her father's jaw tightened, his pride cracking into shock. "You never said a word about this. You hid it from your own family?" Monica's lip curled into a bitter smile. "Why would I? Every time I tried to share my dreams, you laughed at me. Every time I wanted advice, you told me to be realistic. So I stopped talking. I worked in silence." David leaned forward, his voice rising. "So what? You expect us to clap for you now? You think money makes you better than family?" Monica shot back, her tone sharper than ever. "No, David. But money means I don't have to let family steal from me anymore." The air went heavy. No one moved. For the first time in years, Monica wasn't the quiet one in the corner. She was the one holding all the power. And just when her brother thought he could still twist things in his favor, Monica revealed something that made even him lose his arrogant grin. The duplex wasn't just hers to give or take. She had already signed a contract that would leave the entire family speechless. David snatched the papers from his mother's trembling hands, scanning every line, desperate to find something that proved Monica was bluffing. But then Monica calmly placed a second folder on the table. This one read, thicker, heavier. "You're looking at the past," she said, her voice steady. "Now let me show you the future." Her father's hand hesitated before flipping it open. Inside were blueprints, contracts, and bank approvals. His eyes widened. "What is this?" Monica leaned forward, her words slow and deliberate. "That duplex you all fought over? It's already gone. I sold it last month. And with that money, I invested in a new housing project. 50 units under my name, fully managed, already generating more income than you'll see in a lifetime." The room fell silent. David's wife whispered under her breath, 50 units? Her voice cracked like she couldn't believe it. David slammed the folder shut, his face red with rage. "You can't just throw this in our faces. We're your family." Monica's calmness only made his anger look small. "Family?" she repeated, her tone like ice. "Family doesn't plot behind your back to live off your work. Family doesn't laugh while you struggle. Family doesn't call you a failure while secretly planning to take everything you've built. If that's family, then I want nothing to do with it." Her mother tried to speak, but Monica cut her off with the final blow. "And since you all love my duplex so much, you should know the new owners move in next week. So David, if you were already packing, don't bother. You're not welcome there anymore." The color drained from David's face. His arrogant smile was gone. For the first time, he looked small, cornered, exposed, powerless. But Monica wasn't finished. She had one last revelation that would flip their world upside down and show just how far ahead she had planned while they mocked her. Monica stood up slowly, letting the silence stretch, her heels echoing on the marble floor. Everyone's eyes followed her as she walked to her bag and pulled out one last envelope, sealed in black. She placed it in front of her father. "Open it," she said coldly. His hands shook as he tore it open, pulling out a crisp document. His jaw locked, his face went pale. This can't be real!" David snatched it, scanning quickly before his eyes froze in horror. It was a deed transfer agreement. Monica's calm voice cut through the air like a blade. "The house you're living in right now, the one you've called our family home for decades, is no longer yours. I bought the mortgage when you defaulted, and as of last week it legally belongs to me." Her mother gasped, covering her mouth. David's wife nearly dropped her glass of water. You own this house?" Monica nodded, her eyes sharp, her words calm but heavy with power. "Yes. The same house where you mocked me at the dinner table, called me a burden, laughed when I said I had dreams. The same house where you made me feel like I'd never belong. Well, guess what? Now it belongs to me." David slammed his fist on the table. "You wouldn't dare throw us out." "Oh, I dare," Monica cut in, her tone sharp and final. "But I won't. Because I want you to live with the truth every single day. That every wall, every brick, every piece of this house now stands because of the daughter you mocked. You'll eat under my roof, sleep under my roof, and breathe under my roof. Because it all belongs to me." The room fell into stunned silence. Monica's once broken voice now carried the weight of victory, power, and revenge. And yet, there was still one last twist she hadn't revealed. The final detail that would completely destroy David's pride forever. David's hands clenched the paper so tightly it almost tore, his face red with rage and shame. Monica leaned forward, her eyes never leaving his. "But you know what's even worse for you, David?" she whispered, her voice like steel. He glared back, waiting for the blow. Monica pulled out her phone, tapped the screen, and turned it toward the table. A video played, David, in his own words, boasting to his friends at a bar about how he and his wife tricked Monica into giving up her share years ago, laughing about how she would never amount to anything. The room froze. Her mother's face went pale. Her brother's wife gasped, and even David's so-called friends on the screen could be heard laughing. Monica looked around the table, her voice steady, sharp, and final. "I kept quiet all these years, worked in silence, built my empire while you mocked me. And now the world sees who you really are. A man who bet against his own daughter. And lost." David dropped the papers, his shoulders sinking, the weight of humiliation finally crushing him. Monica stood tall, her power undeniable. "This," she said, pointing to the deed in the video, "is my closure. I don't need your approval. I don't need your love. I already won." With that, she turned and walked out of the house, her house, leaving her family in stunned silence, their legacy shattered by the very daughter they had once cast aside. For the first time, Monica felt free.